a national anthem on home soil, is there, Alvin Martin?
Well, I've got to say, having a full stadium here, you get the full effect of what it meant to both sets of players, and the nervousness, the excitement, the pride of pulling on a shirt and representing your whole country. I just hammered it home to be there, and it really, even the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, which has achieved everything, you could see even he, Adam, was so nervous because the weight of expectation on all these players, especially his as an individual.
No doubt about it. There's some people with palpitations in the Puskás after those two anthems, that's for sure. Let's run you through the two sides then. Hungary have got Galassi in goal. It's three at the back for them today, as you usually find, with Botka, Orban and Saloy will be the three centre-halves. Lovrencic on the right, Fiola on the left-hand side. Then the three in midfield will be Naj, Kleinheiser and Schaefer, with Saloy and Saleh leading the line for the home side. Rui Patricio, of course, is in goal for Portugal. Semedo, Diaz, Pepe and Guerreiro will be the back four. Danilo and Carvalho will be the two holding midfielders, and then Fernandes, Jota and Silva will be flying in behind Cristiano Ronaldo. As we've already said, 104 goals to his name internationally so far. Another record he's broken. This is his 39th appearance at a major tournament. He was level with Bastian Schweinsteiger, but he's now the leading European to appear in these major competitions. Plus, of course, it's his 5th Euros and his 22nd appearance. Does the list of achievements ever stop, Alvin Martin?
Well, it's incredible. You know, Adam, a few minutes ago we were talking about, is he the best you've ever seen? Well, I think we both agreed that he is, purely because of the array of talent he's got. He's got feet that are marvellous in terms of his size, his technical ability, his physical attributes. I mean, you wouldn't want to play against him as a rugby player, never mind a footballer. He's just exquisite. You know, the more or less the perfect footballer.
36 years of age as well, but not a one-man team. That's the one thing you can say about this Portuguese side. As we mentioned earlier, we didn't expect them to win it 5 years ago. Nobody expects them to win it now, but if they did, I don't think we'd be that surprised looking at the squad.
Well, I think a lot of people, including Jose Mourinho, think this is a better side. They've improved. I think they've got a better balance. Although they've got maybe 3 players who are aging, they're still really fit. They're a fit 36, 37-year-olds.
And the referee blows his whistle, and we are about to get underway here. Listen to that crowd. It's so wonderful seeing so many joyous faces around the arena, just happy to be here. We're happy to see them. It almost feels like normality in Budapest this evening.
I'll tell you what, Adam, you won't be able to hear a word. When you're out on that pitch, you will not be able to hear a word. A lot of football is about communication, giving information to the man next to you. Pointless tonight. You won't hear a thing.
They've got possession, have Hungary just putting some pressure on that far side. Portugal with Semedo trying to come out down the right hand side. He's benefited, of course, from the removal of João Cancelo, and it's back at the feet away to our left hand side of Galassi, and a chance for Hungary to build from the back. All in yellow, Galassi. RB Leipzig, of course, is home now, has been for the last 6 years, very successfully as well. Little flick on over halfway, and there's going to be the first free kick of the game on the halfway line.
What's going to be interesting for me here, Adam, is the approach of the Hungarians. They're at home, they've got a massive crowd, forcing them to really go for it. And if you go for it and concede an early goal, it could be disastrous for you as a team. So they've got to get the balance absolutely right in terms of giving this crowd something to feed on, but also not taking unnecessary risks.
Portugal in the away shirts. It's white with 3 lots of stripes across. I'm going to say it's possibly one of the ugliest away shirts I've seen for a long time, if I'm going to be honest. But
if it doesn't look that good on Ronaldo, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't accentuate the body, I think, is the key to it. I'd hate to have one on myself. God knows what it would do. Ronaldo with a little flick there on this left-hand side on the near touchline. Hungary are all in red. Just purses his lips just on this near touchline. And it's Ruben Diaz with possession at the back, finds Pepe. Now down the right-hand side, Portugal coming forward again with Semedo. It's back into Carvalho, and it's picked up by Danilo, and then out wide to, on this left-hand side, Guerreiro. It's forced back inside their own half, Portugal, just having a time of early possession in this game. Hungary qualifying for back-to-back Euros for the first time in their history. They missed 10 between 1976 and 2012, and to be doing it on home soil in front of their home fans is such a special moment for them. We've been playing for 2.5 minutes. It's Euros game day on Talksport, and it's Hungary 0, Portugal 0. Down this left-hand side, it's the Liverpool forward Jota, and he's well tackled down this near touchline, and the ball won back nicely on that occasion by Botka, and he gets Hungary a little further up the field. They just need to get some time on the ball, Alvin. It's all Portugal at the moment.
Yeah, well, we expect Portugal with their technique to be able to dominate possession of the ball. They haven't really gone anywhere with it at the moment. So I think they've held the line. They've got a lot of people behind the ball, Hungary, and they're putting a lot of pressure on it when it comes anywhere near, halfway inside their half. And it's really about playing with their heads and not being affected in the opposite way by the crowd. You want to please the crowd. You've got tremendous support. But what you don't want to do is start to run around like headless chickens and obviously give a side like Portugal an opportunity of undoing you.
Tremendous noise that we're not used to hearing for some time. We've had 3.5 minutes. Hungary 0, Portugal 0 on Talksport. A reminder coming up later is France against Germany. If this wasn't enough to whet your appetite for today, it is Group F, and it was in Group F 4 years ago that these sides met, and it finished 3-3 in the final qualification game. That was an occasion, of course, where Portugal really kind of limped through the group phase, but with this groups where you have 3 teams qualifying, it is possible not to win a game and still get through.
Yeah, well, this group is particularly tough as well, Adam. So, this is a game that Portugal coming into the tournament would have looked at and saying, OK, we really do need to start. We need a 3-point here. A point won't be enough for us. I know the quantities have changed, but certainly this group is tough.
Here's Jota towards the edge of the penalty area for Portugal. Gets away the shot on his left foot, and it has to be saved, and is well saved by Galassi, who palms it out to his left-hand side. First opportunity for Portugal, and they've still got possession. Here is Semedo on the far touchline, and he goes down, and it will be a free kick for Portugal.
I think he also will be a little bit disappointed here, Adam, because the ball is a little bit fortunate. It lands at his feet. He gets a little ricochet. It sits beautifully on his left foot. I think he's just gone for power. He's tried to really put his foot through it, when maybe, you would have thought he's got the ability to try and find the corner there.
Yeah, it was a poor first touch, but he was quite fortunate with a left-footed shot, easily saved by Galassi. Opportunity now, though, from a free kick, and when you've got the likes of Bruno Fernandes and Bernardo Silva in your team, and you've got Cristiano Ronaldo waiting, it's a couple of yards in from the right-hand touchline, about 20 yards out from goal, and it's going to be left by Bernardo Silva. Fernandes will deliver to the back post. Pepe's there with a header. It's blocked, and the foul was given anyway. And I don't think it was Pepe who committed the foul. There is a player down in the box, but it will be a free kick for Hungary.
I think maybe Ronaldo was offside in the build-up to that, but certainly it was a free header on the far post of Pepe, and I think the flag had gone up for an offside on Ronaldo just previous to it.
5.5 minutes played. Euro game day on Talksport, and it's Hungary 0, Portugal 0. Of course, every game throughout this tournament is live here on Talksport and Talksport 2. We've got the Euros covered for you. First chance really for Adam Soloy to try and win a ball for Hungary, and they've got their first free kick of the game as well, and it's just outside the edge of the centre circle. And Carvalho, the player that committed the challenge on this occasion.
Certainly in the wider areas you don't want to be giving free kicks away. This is more central, so it's harder to deliver a ball of real quality for an attacker to really get on the end of. But certainly this is a part, certainly free kicks, dead ball situations where they'll feel they've got their best chance of scoring Hungary.
And that one's just dinked in towards the edge of the penalty area. It's flicked on goalwards on this occasion by Orban. Most of his goals coming from set pieces in the qualification tournament. They're going to be forced back inside their own half, just taking their time. There was no opportunity to build. Galassi has it away to our left-hand side at the edge of his penalty area. Left-footed ball launched forward over the top, and there's a foul there, possibly on Saleh. They wanted the foul, but the referee waves it away. And as you can tell, the crowd are not happy about it.
Well, I think Portugal, first and foremost, Adam, will have come here, said, OK, let's start well. let's try and quieten this crowd down. I think that's going to be impossible, by the way, but certainly don't give them anything to get excited about. Keep them away from our goal, and they've done that. They've had the first shot in the game, they've kept possession, and they've controlled the opening segment of this game.
Another foul this time on that right hand side. Nelson Semedo is the player that's down injured, of course. Just completed the season at Wolves following his move from Barcelona. And we're just seeing a replay of that challenge which came in from Ruben Diaz. There were certainly some hands on him, but the referee not intimidated by the crowd. Again, it's going to be a new experience. Bakuna Cikisa, our referee, Turkish official, of course, very experienced, but back in front of a crowd, trying to put some pressure on him. Here's the free kick to Portugal out wide on the right hand side. Fernandez's ball in is a good one, and Jota gets there first, but just puts it well over the top of the crossbar.
Well, it's not an easy one to take this. He makes a run. Looks like again Ronaldo might have just been standing offside, but I don't think that would have been given, because I don't think he tried to get back onside. But certainly it comes to Jota. He gets his right boot to it, but really couldn't get any power on it. He had to redirect it and try and use the pace that was already on the ball.
Already got 6 international goals to his name, Diogo Jota, in his 14 appearances prior to today. Not the season he wanted, of course, at Liverpool, but will be playing Champions League football next season. Now Ronaldo away. First time he's been on the ball down the left-hand side. Closed down immediately by one who's got support as well, and actually wasn't needed in this instance. It's a good check call by Lovrencic. And Ronaldo takes the throw in quickly, and Hungary will gather possession midway inside their own half on the right-hand side.
Well, he's operating on this left-hand side there, wasn't he, Ronaldo? The ball got played over the top, and he took it on the half volley. So difficult to do that, but he makes things like that look so easy. To be fair to him, the right back, or the right wing back, as I should say, for Hungary, Lovrencic, he actually stayed really tight on Ronaldo's toes. And I suppose you can do that more these days, Adam, than maybe 5 or 6 years ago, when if you get too tight for him, you were gone.
Well, we've reached the knockout stages of the last 6 Euros of Portugal. They never struggled to get out of this group phase, and they'll be looking to make a brighter start than they have recently. Saloy now getting forward, the talisman for Hungary, holds the ball up midway inside the Portuguese half. The tackle was clean though from William Carvalho, and it will be Portugal who come away with possession down this left-hand side.
I've been impressed with the standard of refereeing up to this point. Hope I haven't tempted Providence on that, but certainly they know what a foul is and what a foul isn't, and they know when a player is rolling around on the floor trying to get another player booked in there. They're having none of it up to this point, the referees. Just wish it was more like that in the Premier League.
Haven't seen too much of the dreadful VAR word either, have we? So apart from when it came to Wales' rescue the other day, when I think it was fairly welcome, certainly down in the hillside. In the centre circle, it's Carvalho again. Gets back to Pepe. I mentioned he's 38 years of age now, but his performance earlier on this season, when playing, of course, for against Juventus, should I say, in that Champions League tie, he was just quite outstanding. He's been named in the team of the tournament for the last 3 Euro competitions. I'm guessing at the age of 38 this will be his last one, but who knows? Down that right-hand side is Semedo, who's found some space towards the edge of the penalty area, looking for support on his right foot with the light blue boots. Gets it back once more to Carvalho. We'll then just go back in once more to Pepe and Danilo from PSG, of course, just sitting inside that centre circle, providing that defensive shield here for Portugal. Guerreiro into Danilo again. Now Guerreiro with some space to run into down this left-hand side, but it's immediately closed down very quickly by Kleinheiser. Means Portugal have to think again, and they work it to the right-hand side with Semedo. Nice triangle of passes every time, and then intercepted by Schaefer, but all he can do is put it out of play and concede the throw again.
Well, they've obviously got the three centre-halves all sitting there very close together. They're not allowing any ball to get played into the feet of Ronaldo, and at the moment Bruno Fernandes is trying to get the ball and get turned on it in a very congested area.
Jota away again down this left-hand side. Infield, he comes to his right foot. The overlap came from Guerreiro, but the ball in from Jota was quite poor and is comfortably cleared away that time by Botka. Only as far, though, on this near side as Danilo infield again to Jota. Fernandes helps it on its way, and inside the penalty area, Guerrero can't quite get there, and it's out of play for what will be a goal kick to Hungary away to our left-hand side. We've had 12 and a half minutes. It's Euro Game Day Live on Talksport. It's Hungary 0, Portugal 0, and here's former England international Alvin Martin.
Well, everything's based on possession for Portugal, but as we've seen in the competition so far, you look at somebody like Spain who dominated possession against Sweden. Can you turn possession into chances? That's what you would expect, certainly if it carries on like this, Portugal to do, because you can only, I think, combat it so far, and at the moment they're having to give little fouls away here and there. They're playing at 100% capacity, Hungary, just to stay on level terms at the moment, Adam. You can't do that for 90 minutes. You've got to have a respite. You've got to be able to cause the problems going back the other way for the opposition. At this moment in time, it's one-way traffic.
Another foul there from Adam Naj, this time on Diogo Jota, and Portugal will have the free kick again. It's inside the centre circle with Carvalho once more, and Pepe and Diaz, who I don't think have been forced back towards their own penalty area as yet. Wide on this left-hand side is Guerrero, and he just chips the ball down the line to Jota, who will come back inside once more to Danilo, who's had a terrific season with PSG, played every minute of their UEFA Champions League campaign, as that ball is nodded comfortably back into the arms of the goalkeeper Galassi. That's a nice bit of defending by Fiola, and Hungary with a chance to get it forward. Just a lull in the incessant noise inside the Puskás Arena. It's been remodelled, of course. It was the site of the People's Stadium back in 1953 when it was first put up, but then was demolished and rebuilt into this wonderful stadium that is packed to the rafters for this opening game in Group F. Later, of course, we will see France take on Germany. Mark Saggers, Ian Danter and Matt Holland will guide you through that one once we're done here on Talksport. Down this left-hand side, that's a poor ball forward this time by Guerrero. It's picked up on halfway, and Lovrencic with the ball at feet had an opportunity to go forward, but comes back inside to Botka, and then to Willy Orban, as we mentioned earlier on, born in Germany, actually played some youth football in Germany. He's never actually played league football inside Hungary. Another of the RB Leipzig boys. 6 years he's been there now, but he's very much a key part of this Hungarian side. But at the moment they're not seeing too much of the football. It's all Portugal, it's all possession, and apart from that shot from Jota, not really creating too many opportunities.
No, and I think one of the problems that Hungary have got, though, and they've got to certainly improve. Oh, there's a bad clash. Oh, felt that one from here.
It is on that far side. Nelson Semedo involved. He's immediately on his haunches. I think it's Fiola as well. Both looking at the ball, not looking at each other, and Semedo and Fiola just clatter into each other.
Well, thankfully they're all right, because that's one of them as an ex-player, somebody can get really hurt from that. And both players unaware of each other and one eye on the ball. They've got no eyes on the challenge that's coming in. They both actually reach that ball at the same time, and I'm pleased to say they both look all right, but it could have been nasty.
I'd say Semedo was probably about 3 or 4 feet more off the air than Fiola was as he made contact, and certainly I think his boots have gone into the thigh of Fiola. But again, the referee very cleverly just says, look, no one's at fault for that one, everyone's okay. Portugal, you have the ball back as you have possession. That's what the boos are for, because the ball has been given to the reigning champions. Forward to the feet of Ronaldo, who's dropped a little bit deeper to try and win possession there. He didn't do particularly well with it, but they have kept the ball, and he's back in possession again now at the edge of the penalty area, but he's well tackled. And so far in this game, in the opening 16 minutes, Ronaldo being shackled. Saloy on this right-hand side wins his side of throw, 5 yards inside Portugal's half. Opportunity maybe for Hungary to build something down the right.
I mean, Saloy is up front for Hungary. All he's done is chase the ball up to this point, isn't it? He hasn't had any real quality service into him. And like I said, they've got the ball at the back at times, and they're not even pressing Portugal, but Hungary are gifting the ball back to Portugal. Muller saying, come on, attack us again. But certainly that big centre forward from set pieces, he could be a problem for Portugal. But they've got to obviously take, I think a little bit more of a risk in terms of joining in and getting further up the pitch at the moment. Sitting so deep that the two forwards that they've got up there are totally isolated.
72nd cap tonight for Saloy. Only scored 1 goal domestically last season. But as I mentioned, he is a bit of a up-front talisman for this Hungarian side and very much favoured by Marco Rossi, the head coach, who's got a contract through to 2025. They feel he's the right man for the job, the Italian. Just giving away possession here once more, though, to Danilo on halfway, to Semedo on the right-hand side. Dropping into gather some possession is Bernardo Silva. Semedo goes outside him, but he looks to cut in on that left-hand side. Bernardo Silva. There was some talk of him maybe leaving Man City this summer. I would have thought that Pep wouldn't want to see him go, but sometimes game time can be a little lacking and a little bit sparse in such a Man City squad, and there was talk of him being a make weight in a possible deal as well, but we'll see. Diaz has it on halfway, and there's a player who certainly won't be leaving Man City. Made such a difference to that defence this season. All ball over the top for Ronaldo on the first touch inside the penalty area. The offside flag was up anyway, and the keeper had made the save as it was.
Well, he might be 36, Ronaldo, but he still doesn't mind making a run in behind the defence, and this one is really close. Great ball in as well, and he has to wait for it slightly behind him. He knows he can't get a real powerful shot away, but he tries to just direct it left or right of the keeper, which he wasn't able to do. But as a defender, you still think at him, even though he's offside and the keeper's made a save, you think, is he still going to make them runs in behind me? And it does give you a little warning.
Giro Game Day Live on Talksport. Hungary 0, Portugal 0 in Budapest. Down the right-hand side, this is an opportunity for Roland Salai to get forward, and Pepe just comes across and does what Pepe does. And at that point, the flag goes up for an offside, and it will be a free kick for Portugal. And again, the home crowd not happy with the decision of the referee, and I think Diogo Jota is being spoken to here by the referee as well. In fact, not just him, it's a conversation with Lovrencic, the wing-back, as well. Pepe may have been caught late there. That's what the fury was from Portugal. Free kick though, and it's taken short as ever. And once more they'll look to build from just outside our penalty area with Ruben Diaz.
Well, I think he'll be a little bit disappointed, Rossi, the Hungarian coach, that it's been as comfortable as it has been for Portugal. He would have wanted to see certainly 1 or 2 moments up to this stage, but he could have given the crowd something to cheer about. At the moment they're cheering pure effort and nothing else.
Hungary with a chance to bring it out from the back. Ball into Saloy, who's fouled, and it's a free kick just inside the Hungarian half. 23 goals he's scored in an international shirt, Adam Saloy. A bit of flowing hair, swept back. We have it out wide on that left-hand side. It's with him again here, just inside the Portugal half. Sweeps it out to the right where he finds Lovrencic. Forward down the line, there's another free kick, is it? No, the referee says play on. Botka believed he was fouled.
So did I. I thought it was a foul. Let's see that one again. And it was in a wide area as well. Well, I think it was a foul, yeah.
There's absolutely no attempt to go for the ball there by Guerrero.
And it was in a position, I'm sure Hungary will be pretty angry at that, because it was in a position wide that they could have delivered a dangerous cross into the box.
On this near side, it's going to be another throw-in for Portugal, just over halfway, dominating possession. There's plenty to be said on the sidelines right now by Marco Rossi. One hand in his pocket, both hands in his pocket now.
I think he disagreed with that decision, didn't he, not to give it a team foul there?
And he's quite right to disagree in the end. I think we've established that certainly there was no attempt to play the ball, that's for sure. Down that right-hand side, Portugal on the attack. Carvalho does well, gets to the byline, gets the crossover, but it's blocked out, and the first corner of the game will be Portugal's on the right-hand side.
Well, they are comfortable, dominant, looking like a classy outfit at the moment. Well, there's only that one chance, isn't there, Jota actually hit straight at Gulaschi.
Here's the corner going to be swung in from that right-hand side. Bernardo Silva's across. We know that Ronaldo can be dangerous in the air. There's only 5 white shirts inside the penalty area. There's something different maybe about to be worked on here. In fact, Silva's left it now for Fernandes. He's looking for Ronaldo, but Soroy wins the header. It's back in from Danilo, and it's away from the edge of the penalty area by Fiola. And Portugal gather possession again, and they've still got bodies forward, although Pepe has now dropped back towards halfway, and they'll look to build down that right-hand side once more with Semedo coming forward towards Bruno Fernandes to Bernardo Silva. Back to Fernandes again, who's dispossessed, and there's a foul, and wouldn't surprise me if that brought the first yellow card of the game. Cynical from Fernandes on Schaefer. It's just going to be a talking to though from the referee, who's being fairly lenient.
Yeah, I think he's again. It's a foul that a lot of referees would have got a card out for, Adam. But I much prefer to see them keeping cards in the pocket. There's no argument from anyone. The game's gone on. No one will refer back to that. And he, we are going to end if he carries on that way. The referee with 11 versus 11.
On halfway, it's Ruben Dias in possession to Pepe, looking to come forward again down the left-hand side with Carvalho. I'll run you through tomorrow's live games we have for you on Talksport shortly, but Diogo Jota on the attack here, and it's good defending this time on this right-hand side by Andre Botka, and it's a goal kick, just the final touch coming off the Liverpool forwards foot.
They are starting to get into semi-dangerous areas now. It's still not being able to open up Hungary, and that's credit to Hungary. It's tough opposition. You've got a crowd roaring you on, trying to will you to attack. But you've got world-class players that as soon as the ball's turned over, you're really vulnerable and delicate. So I think they've got the balance right up to now. Although I still think that maybe playing the longer ball up to the centre forward they just have with not enough quality, but then getting some support 15 yards, 10 yards, 15 yards away from him is certainly something they've got to look to do a little bit more.
The words of Alvin Martin alongside me, Adam Bridge, here in our Euro base in London, of course, because of COVID restrictions, watching on this game in the Puskás Arena in Budapest. A reminder, tomorrow Finland against Russia from Group B, and then obviously the Group A match day 2s kick in with Turkey against Wales, Italy against Switzerland. All 3 of those games, of course, across the Talksport network tomorrow. There's a foul there. Is the referee giving that? Yes, he is. Jota this time with the challenge. The 221s coming together there. It was Botka that was fouled. But Hungary are winning free kicks and they're being given possession of the ball, but today Alvin doing nothing with it.
Well, 25 minutes in, you've got to say that Hungary have achieved what they wanted to, and that was to make sure they keep a clean sheet for as long as possible. And certainly, if they are 0-0 coming up to an hour, a little bit of frustration, impatience starts to creep into, I don't care how good a team you are, starts to creep in, you start to get a little bit flustered. They're not there yet, Portugal.
Here's Ronaldo towards the edge of the penalty area, bit of trickery, but his teammates had all gone in the opposite direction. Ronaldo I think quite cross that they had. He's won the ball back. Referee says play on inside the penalty area. Down goes Bernardo Silva, but it was a really beautifully timed tackle from Fiola, and Hungary will try and break away on that far side, but again Portugal will keep an hemmed in, but Ronaldo doing Ronaldo things.
Well, it was Ronaldo who gave the ball away at him on the edge of the box, but he realised there was a break on. Did you see him explode? He actually exploded, did about 15 yards sprint and won the ball back, and then all of a sudden there was an opening for them, and there was certainly a decision for the referee. I think he got it right there in terms of not giving a penalty.
This comes down to Fernandes inside the penalty area, tries to cut it back to Ronaldo, who's at the edge of the 6-yard box, couldn't find him. Semedo now down the right hand side, bit more urgency from Portugal. Here's Bernardo Silva onto his left foot, has support from Semedo, who delivers the ball early towards the back post. It's headed out by Botka onto this near side, but it'll go out for a throw to Portugal about 5 or 6 yards outside the Hungarian penalty area, and they take it short and they build with Pepe in the centre circle. Euro Game Day Live on Talksport. Hungary 0, Portugal 0. Down that right hand side again is Bernardo Silva. He's closed down by Naj, but he goes back to Bruno Fernandes on that right hand side. now into Bernardo Silva again, and just slowing it down to walking pace. Then there's the burst of pace, then there's the delivery towards the back post, looking for Ronaldo, just too much on it on this occasion, and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, he's on the right hand side, so he's cutting on his left foot there, Silva, and you can see he's not trying to go for goal. He's actually just trying to get it into an area where somebody can attack it. Just too much pace on it for Ronaldo. Just see the replay of the challenge. Referee's got it right again. Fabulous challenge inside the penalty area. Gets a boot on it, and Bernardo Silva goes over his leg.
Yeah, I did Orban a disservice. It was his challenge rather than Fiola's to deny Bernardo Silva. Bit of space here for Carvalho again, who just turns and then switches it to the right hand side, and well, I think if that had been left by Silva, it would have fallen beautifully for Semedo. He's had to track back to collect it, which he does. Takes his man on, gets the crossing off Viola, and it's out of play for a corner on the right hand side to Portugal, that second of this game.
Well, they'll be delighted, I think, Portugal, how they've started off, because it's not easy coming into a stadium as full as this, with the magnitude of the game for the opposition, and keeping them pinned in their own half, and that's what they've done, Portugal, and it's not easy to do that.
And again, it's going to be Bernardo Silva. Gives it short to Fernandes, who gets it across towards Pepe, but he couldn't quite get himself up for it. And now a chance to break for Kleinheiser, and he's just closed down immediately by that wall of Carvalho and Danilo in that heart of that Portuguese midfield, who are just snuffing out any danger that comes from Hungary. 28 and a half minutes played. We're still searching for our first goal in a very hot Budapest, 26 degrees. Although luckily, because of the sheer size of the stadium, the pitch is bathed in shade right now, which I'm sure will help. Here's Danilo to Semedo. Chance to run forward and stretch his legs over halfway, which he does. Tries to find Bernardo Silva, just probably an ounce or two too much on that pass, and it's dealt with on the left-hand side by Attila Saloy. But again, defensively, it's just a hopeful clearance, and they immediately give possession. They are never giving their backline a breather here.
And anyone who's played the game will tell you, Adam, you're chasing the ball like this over a period of time. If it goes up to 70 minutes, 80 minutes, you're out on your feet, because they're having to work a lot harder than Portugal. They're just passing it round. They join their football at the moment.
It's absolutely relentless. Bernardo Silva down that right hand side, edge of the penalty area, onto his left foot, chipped cross, looking for Ronaldo, who got up above everybody in that familiar style that he does, but he just flicks it wide of the right hand post by 5 or 6 yards.
It was just right above his head. You want to be able to maybe take a stride and then jump ahead of yourself, but when it's above your head like that, it's impossible, number one, to win it and direct it down. He's actually applauding the ball, but he needed to be just in front of him so he could have attacked it.
Half-hour mark has been reached in the Puskás Arena. Chance here to maybe put Pepe under some pressure, but Saloy's gone down with a head injury on halfway.
That's something that he needs to do. I mean, look, it's a fight ball that's being played up to him, but all you do is you gain a foul, and Diaz is all over him. So it's an obvious foul, but that gives him a little bit of respite. So yeah, they have got that ball out. That's why I'm a little surprised they've been banging it in the corners and just gifting it back to Portugal. Get it up to the big man, let him get you a foul, and let him get you a breather.
I think Saloy ended up the meat there in a Diaz-Carvalho sandwich. He's up and about okay, and Hungary have possession. They're going to go all the way back to the keeper, Galashi. Quarter of an hour remaining in this first half. 0-0. As so many games have been so far in this tournament. A reminder coming up later, the rest of Group F. Not too many trophies between them, as we know, in terms of World Cups and Euros, but it's France against Germany. What will we get from Germany? That's the question, I think. We're pretty sure what we're going to get from France and their star-studded lineup. Mark Saggers will be in the chair from 7 o'clock, and the 8 o'clock kickoff will be described for you by the former Republic of Ireland international and skipper Matt Holland alongside Ian Danter. That's coming up for you a little bit later here on Talksport. Portugal have possession wide on the left hand side, where it's controlled by Guerreiro, wearing the number 5. A rare instance when numbers 1 to 5 are playing the complete back line here of Portugal, including the keeper, of course, Rui Patricio. I mentioned Rui Patricio just to remind you he's out there, because I haven't had to mention him so far in the game. Saloy might have to now. Some pressure coming on here as Roland Salai was trying to get in round the back, but he can't, and it's easily cleared. But they do have possession back here, Hungary, on halfway. They've gone back to Galassi once more, and they'll try and build with Naj, who's got his back to Carvalho. He just turns, and they've played themselves into a bit of trouble there under pressure from Ronaldo. Galassi won't pick it up. He'll clear with his left foot, and he gets it up towards Saloy. They'll pick up the second ball this time, and then immediately Naj gives it away. He's been a mainstay of this team, the Bristol City midfielder, but so far just giving possession away far too easily.
Well, they've put everything in to stop him, Portugal.
There's a break on here now. Alvin 3-on-3. What can they do with it this time? As it's brought forward by Salai, and they've ended up going back to halfway, and any advantage that they could have had has just been snuffed out. And you feel when you're seeing so little of the ball, if you get a 3-on-3, there's only one way to go, isn't there? They're still attacking here, though, down this left-hand side this time. Opportunity here with Schaefer. Schaefer goes back and gets the support from Fiola. Infield is Naj. He's 25 yards out from goal, maybe a little further, actually nearer to 30, but irrelevant now because they've gone back to halfway. Now they'll go for a diagonal. Left-footed ball into this right-hand corner. Taken down well this time by Lovrencic. And the ball runs out of play. Lovrencic just feeling he got caught, but just the momentum went from that attack.
It was annoying because it was a good ball, as you said, the diagonal ball. He has a great first touch, and then Jota who actually bangs it into his face, which is annoying when you don't get even a free kick or a throw in there. Smashed it right in his face, score.
Well, I think the referee's missed that. The final flick actually came off Diego Jota again, but it was a goal kick that was awarded to Portugal. We were discussing before kick-off today how to win that 5 years ago playing in the manner they did, they had a tremendous amount of luck, Portugal, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they broke the luck at crucial times in the tournament. I think this will be different. Obviously you always, I think, need a break, a little bit of luck, good fortune somewhere, a decision going forward against you, and they did get that. There's no doubt about it in the last tournament.
Portugal enter the last quarter of the Hungarian half, just outside the penalty area. Ronaldo switches play from the left-hand touchline to the right, picks out the chest of Semedo, back to Pepe. He'll go, I'm pretty sure, square. Now he goes forward and gives possession away, and now a chance to come forward for Andre Schaefer again. Sliding tackle, Saloy brings it on down that left-hand side, but he's got absolutely zero support around him, and three white shirts closing him down. Goes down in the end and wins the free kick. Bernardo Silva, the guilty man this time.
Yeah, I'm surprised really that Bernardo Silva has given that foul away, because he was surrounded, the Hungarian, by three Portuguese players. They were going to win the ball back, and all he's done is give him a cheap foul. Now they can, number one, get a rest because they've had the ball for a long time, and number two, take up a position now where they can deliver, because this is a nice position on the left-hand side to be able to float the ball in for some of the bigger players in this Hungarian side to attack it.
Well, I think the target here will certainly be Willy Orban, the 22-year-old centre-half. 3 goals he scored in qualification and his 9 appearances. The ball's going to be delivered by Roland Salai. But I would suspect Orban will be the target. It's wide on that left-hand side. It's about 30 yards out from goal. It's a couple of yards to the left edge of the penalty area. 4 or 5 red shirts inside the box, couple more waiting outside. As it is swung over, Saloy gets the flick, and Rui Patricio gets his first action of the game, but it's a very comfortable save at head height.
That could have gone anywhere, Adam. It really could have gone anywhere, because the pace is on the ball. It's an in-swinger. Saloy makes the run from the edge of the box, perfectly timed, and he gets a good contact on the ball. Unfortunately for him, it goes straight to Patricio.
Guerrero is away down this left-hand side after a lovely slip ball from Ronaldo, but the pass back inside from Guerrero is poor, and there's just a little bit of momentum here coming for this Hungarian side, but again, Saloy deep inside his own half, trying to play a ball through for Naj to run onto. Wasn't the best of passes, and he allows Portugal to pick up possession again. 8.5 minutes to go to half-time. It's Euros Game Day live on Talksport. It's Hungary 0, Portugal 0, and well, I think the possession stats probably say it all. 65% for Portugal. Now Jota inside the penalty area at the byline. Oh, it's well kept in, and a good challenge by Endre Botka, and he gets the ball immediately up to halfway, and Now an opportunity for Kleinheiser to come forward, but there's a foul there. And this is going to be the first card of the game from Guerrero for the challenge on Kleinheiser. Oh, it's Ruben Diaz who's getting the yellow card.
I'm a little surprised at this, I really am, when you think that he's let so much go, the referee. He decides to get a card out for what I thought it was not a bad challenge. He got the ball. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, nothing wrong with it at all. That's a mistake really by the referee.
Looks like he made contact with the ball first. Kleinheiser in a heap on halfway. Kleinheiser is described as the Hungarian Scholzi, apparently. I don't think Scholzi would have gone down quite like that with that sort of challenge. Hungary have possession, edge of their own penalty area. First yellow card of the game to Ruben Diaz. Kleinheiser tries to get another free kick, this time off of Diaz. 10 yards inside the Portuguese half, but not doing from referee this time. Kleinheiser goes back inside. This is better from Hungary in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I still believe that they turn and go back when they really should be turning and facing and taking the odd opportunity to pop it into the front men. Their first inclination is to come back, keep possession, but as soon as they do that and they go back towards their own goalkeeper, you know, Galashi's not bad on the ball, but he's not the best. You know, he's not got the accuracy of certainly of a Pickford, and they end up like losing possession because they've done that. They've taken this safe away.
Solo inside the penalty area, tries to turn, has support from Schaefer, but this time Pepe does his business very well, as he has on so many occasions in these championships over the years. Bernardo Silva then helps that on to Carvalho, but this time Hungary have got midfielders around to win the ball back. It most definitely is better, and it's visibly better, quite clearly, than we've seen from them so far in the majority of this first half. Flicked on by Kleinheiser, it's out by Danilo, and then to Ronaldo. And the longer it stays 0-0, you think maybe Portugal could get a little jittery. Jota down this left-hand side towards the edge of the penalty area. Guerrero's herring forward down the left-hand touchline, but he goes inside to look for Ronaldo and gives away possession. But not to worry, because Hungary have given it straight back. Semedo, midway inside the Hungarian half. Bernardo Silva cutting into the edge of the penalty area to Semedo, cuts it back, chance to turn and shoot for Jota, which he does, and it's saved by Galashi again.
Oh, certainly Bruno Fernandes is angry there with Jota. He took the shot on, and he obviously given him a call to step over. He was in a better position. They got round the back, the cutback was on, Jota would pull the trigger when Fernandes actually had a right go at him. Said, you know, I've called you that, leave it for me, and I've got to tap in.
Danilo has gone down here and is writhing around on the floor in some discomfort, claiming he'd been fouled. And I think we also saw for the first time Fernando Santos getting quite cross on the near touchline. Jota's shot's gone right through the player's legs, and he's done well there, Galashi, to make that save.
I'll tell you though, you know, you've seen a replay of that, Adam, it was clear. The ball was on its way to Bruno Fernandes, and it was perfect for him to just slot into one of the corners. Although Jota's got a shot away, it was a much more difficult chance for him.
Here's the free kick, about 30 yards out from this left-hand side. It's swung in by Guerrero this time for Portugal, looking for Ronaldo, but it's away. Salai will have it on this near side, holds possession. It's forced backwards by good pressure on this occasion by Bruno Fernandes, and Jota just tries the little pass. He seems a little off the pace at times, Jota. He's given the ball away a few times.
I think you're right. You know, 5 minutes ago a ball got played on a diagonal into the penalty area, and look, don't get me wrong, it was a difficult one to take on the volley with his left foot, but he just ran away from him. But he's better than that. We've seen him, you know, perfectly control the ball like that and maybe cut it back or get a shot away.
On that right hand side, Portugal have it again with Carvalho. Back inside to Danilo. To the left, he finds Ruben Diaz. Guerrero is out to his left, but instead he goes back inside to Pepe. Portugal playing their game, all of their football inside the Hungarian half here on Talksport on Euro Game Day Live. It still remains 0-0 into the final 3.5 minutes of this first half. Ball short on that right hand side with Fernandes. Down the line he goes again to Bernardo Silva on that left foot of his. Lovely turn onto the right at the byline, tries to cut it back, and all he does is cut it back to the feet of Adam Naj, who gets it away. And there's going to be no free kick. I don't think they wanted one. Salai wanted one, but the referee waves play on. Makes it very clear, not in his book. Diogo Jota. Again to Diaz. Everyone hemmed in this Hungarian half, looking for the breakthrough before half-time. 3 minutes to go. On Talksport, it's 0-0. It's Guerrero going back to halfway again. Certainly a big shift from Hungarians. They'll obviously be happy with the two sides 0-0 at half-time if it stays this way. Guerrero being forced out on this near side once more by Botka, and he's still going, ended up on his backside, but it wasn't a foul. Referee says play on, but he's got it back despite having two around him. Fernandes' ball in, and Ronaldo arrives at the edge of the 6-yard box on the half volley and blazes it over the top of the crossbar.
Incredible. Look, it come out really quick and it come past the teammate, so it probably was a much more difficult one to take. I think at the near post, Ronaldo takes it on the half volley, can't keep it down. Unbelievable. I mean, I thought we were going to see the first goal for sure there.
I think Jota tried to flick it, didn't he? And that may have been enough to put Ronaldo off in thinking that it wasn't going to arrive at him, but what an opportunity.
One thing is for sure, that Hungary are going to need some good fortune. If they are going to get a draw or a win tonight, they're going to need a large proportion of good fortune, and that was certainly there then.
We don't see Ronaldo miss too often from 7 or 8 yards, and with the 7 or 8 I may be being generous. Portugal have it deep inside their own half. Final 90 seconds of this first half. 0-0 on Talksport. Reminder, France against Germany is coming later. We got 3 more live games across the Talksport network for you tomorrow, and of course prior to that you wake up for your Euros breakfast in the morning with Laura Woods and the team from 6 o'clock. Wide on that right hand side, Fernandes with the ball across, looking to try and reach Diogo Jota, who was lurking at the edge of the 6-yard area. It's comfortably cleared away for Hungary and then put out a play by Danilo, and it'll be Hungary inside the Puskás Arena in Budapest who have a throw on that left hand side as we enter the final minute of the first half. Alvin Martin,
I think I'm safe in saying that we will not see a team work as hard as this Hungarian team in the first 45 minutes throughout the whole tournament. They've worked their socks off.
And at the moment they're getting their rewards in that it still remains 0-0. We saw plenty of effort last night from the Swedish side against Spain as well. Wasn't the possession stats in that 85-15 at the end or something ridiculous? Just shows you can have as much of the ball as you want, but if you can't score, long one over the top, taken down in the penalty area by Bruno Fernandes. Is come out on the far side to Bernardo Silva here on his left foot, short to Fernandes again, who gets it across towards Ronaldo, but it's headed away that time by Fiola. They've still got possession though, and they're still keeping them hemmed inside the edge of their own penalty area. Good, decent nod away that time for Attila Soloy inside the penalty area. There's 1 minute of added time at the end of this first half, and Hungary will begin it with a throw on half right.
A variety of ways that you could approach the technical aspects of playing the game. Technically, they've been far superior, haven't they, Portugal? But you look at the heart and the desire and the character that the Hungarian side have shown. It shows you 2 facets of football, both valuable.
Well, we've seen Portugal have all the possession. 2 or 3 occasions that long ball as well has just caught the Hungarian defence out, because they've been so used to the work down the flanks by, in particular, Fernandes and Bernardo Silva. And here's a chipped ball forward this time from Carvalho. Comes out to Guerrero on this near touchline, coming to the end of the minute of added time, and in fact the referee says that's it. So the best opportunity of the half undoubtedly goes to the main man, Cristiano Ronaldo, but he blazes over the top of the crossbar just before half time from 6 yards out. A workmanlike performance from Hungary. All the ball has been Portugal, but at half time in the Puskás Arena in Budapest it remains, in the opening game of Group F, Hungary 0, Portugal 0. I never thought I'd quite enjoy so much the sight of a man holding a pint in a football stadium again, or one dressed as a Red Indian chief, as one of them is one of the Portugal fans. But it's just so delightful to see so many faces and people.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Adam. I really couldn't. It's it's what the game's all about. And I think this last 18 months, it's brought home to, I think, everybody in positions of power within the game how important they are.
We're about to get underway then. There is just a little symbol in the middle of these rather garish Portugal shirts that they're wearing, the white shirts with the 3 stripes around, I think of the colours of the Portuguese flag, that just says Euro 26 winner. Just a reminder of what they achieved 5 years ago for this Portugal side. We are off and running at the start of the second half. They're kicking from left to right in this second period with white shorts and white socks. It's an all-red outfit for this Hungarian side, who are in well-drilled 3-5-2 formation. We'll run you through the teams in a moment. Portugal have possession on halfway, as they had for around 65% of that first half. Well taken down cleverly there by Fernandes inside the penalty area from the long ball from Pepe. And I think Hungary are claiming that should be a goal kick, but I think the referee's given the corner for Portugal on this right-hand side. No, I think the assistant's overruled and said actually it is a goal kick, and it'll be taken by Galashi, who's in goal for Hungary. Botka, Orban and Solly at the back three. That's Attila Solly. And then we have Lovrencic and Fiola are the 2 wing backs. Narj, Kleinhauser and Schaffer in midfield, with Soloy and Saleh leading the line. Brilliant work from Bernardo Silva down the right hand side. Ghosted inside the penalty area, but just put too much on the ball that he'd knocked around the defender. And then Semedo tries to deliver, and his ball is headed out, and it'll be a throw right by the corner flag.
A sense that maybe they've spoken at half time, and they're just going to maybe add a little bit more intensity, because they've easily controlled the game there, Adam. But that intensity in terms of doing things a little bit quicker, so that the opposition haven't got time to organise themselves, playing things instantly.
Well, they've now decided it is a corner on this right hand side. Bernardo Silva has departed. Bruno Fernandes will deliver towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Pepe's there with a header, and it's well saved by Galashi, low down to his right hand side, and he's palmed it away nicely onto that far side. Fighting for possession there is Botka, and he's managed to win it ahead of Diaz, and then just tries to play Hungary out of trouble. But yet again, another good save from Galashi.
Well, it looks to be a very good save, low down to his right. I don't know if it was creeping in. He wasn't to know either way, but certainly I'm at least watching a replay of it now, Adam. I think it was going in. I think it is a good save, low down to his right.
Pepe's header from about probably 8 or 9 yards out there. He nodded it down into the turf, so it bounced up to a good height for Galashi. But it's a good stop, and not the first one he's made in this game either. But when he's been called upon so far, he's been very impressive for Hungary. Let's run through this Portugal side for you. Patricio's in goal, Semedo, Diaz who's on a yellow card alongside Pepe and Guerreiro, Danilo and Carvalho, the 2 holding midfielders, and then Fernandes, Jota and Silva providing the support to Cristiano Ronaldo, who as ever has got that free rein to go where he wants, and he's dropping a little bit deeper and has just helped win possession for Portugal down the right hand side. Here's Bernardo Silva cutting in from the right flank onto his left foot, swings a 45-yard pass out wide to the left hand side where Guerreiro is waiting, level with the edge of the penalty area. Jota, who then just takes it away from goal to about 35 yards out, and almost to halfway, where it's picked up again in the centre circle by Pepe. It's a patient build-up, as we mentioned, at times very slow and patient in the first half, and every now and then Bernardo Silva just provides that injection of pace as he spins off that right foot onto his left peg. This time he goes infield though to Carvalho, and then Cristiano Ronaldo is picking it up, and you can hear the boos coming from the packed Puskás for the side-to-side passing that's coming here from Portugal right now. But all of this is putting miles in the legs of this Hungarian side, who are packed in and holding a decent shape as they try and hold Portugal off. This time it's gone direct into the box, has to be headed away, and it is well by Orban out towards Solly, who's just won possession and held it up nicely despite having 2 Portugal players around him. Now Fiola's done well to set Schaefer away down this left hand side. Fiola's now gone again. Schaefer though just has to check his run, find Fiola once more. Is Solly joins him just to the left hand side. Schaefer has it. There's 3 or 4 red shirts forward this time. Solly 25 yards out from goal, tries the shot, and it bounces once, and it's straight into the arms of Rui Patricio.
I don't think they got tight enough to the big centre forward there. He's a long way out. Perhaps they didn't think he was a threat from there, but he hits this really well, and it's moving left to right. Patricio had to watch it all the way.
3rd Euros for Rui Patricio, 13th appearance in this competition. Didn't actually play at all in 2008 despite being part of the squad, but in that qualification campaign. He did manage to keep 4 clean sheets during that period. Finished second to Ukraine in that group, did Portugal, maybe a little surprisingly. What isn't surprising is Ronaldo was the leading scorer in qualification. 11 goals in just the 8 games. Here's Carvalho waiting in the middle as it's played once more by Danilo. Wanting a foul there, I think, is Diogo Jota, but yet again, not for the first time, the referee waves play on. Down the right-hand side, it's Semedo. 5 minutes into the second half. Euro Game Day live on Talksport. Hungary 0, Portugal 0.
So I think that, again, they've got to be a little bit more imaginative, Portugal. You know, they're passing it, they're keeping possession of the ball, they've just given one away now. But I think, you know, when they're getting into the centre of the pitch, they've got to start playing balls in and having runners off that ball. At the moment, it's a little stagnant. You know, there's not enough movement in and around the man that's receiving the ball.
It's interesting to remember as well when you look at these players here. Danilo's saying he's been hit in the face here by a flailing arm, I think, from Soloy. Just having a look. Well, he's outstretched an arm, but there's nothing too much in that. Danilo, I thought, had maybe got blood, but no, he's up and about and he's fine. So I think he did enough to get the free kick, which is what he was looking for. I did say, obviously, Ronaldo has been the one in this team that was able to break lines with his pace and his running and his movement when he's got the ball at his feet. They maybe are lacking a little in that. They are a little static in terms of the plan. They've moved it again from right to left, and Guerrero coming forward. Back to halfway with Diaz. And here's Pepe. 6.5 minutes gone in the second half. Still 0-0. The frustration plan working from Hungary. Carvalho tries to slip a ball inside the penalty area, but again, there's no real movement towards the ball for a Portugal player, and it's easily cleared, and it's a throw-in down this left-hand side for Hungary.
There's just something lacking tonight, Adam, in terms of, you know, the finesse and the risk taking of Portugal. It's all been a little bit too safe.
So Roy on halfway, well picked up this time and brought forward by Kleinheiser. Still got ball at feet, but dispossessed by Semedo. Now up the line from Bernardo Silva. Fernandes tries to turn it on. He got clattered late there by Attila Soloy, and eventually the referee does give the free kick. I thought for a moment he'd allowed play to continue, but there will be a chance for Portugal to put some pressure on here. He's actually been completely wiped out there by Soloy. Fernandes has gone darting into the technical area. Build a house in those technical areas, couldn't you? How big are they? almost as big as the London Stadium. Look at that. But not quite. Here's Carvalho.
Well, if it stays like this for much longer, I think we'll see a little bit of activity. There's no doubt about it from that substitutes bench.
Well, there is some wonderful options, certainly on the Portuguese side, as the ball's clipped in by Carvalho towards the back post where Bernardo Silva had made a run, but it was followed all the way by Fiola, who does really well with the help of Schaefer. And again, they've just chipped it out of play though, so there'll be a throw to Portugal, level with the edge of their own penalty area. Coming up after we're done tonight, the other two teams open their campaigns in Group F, of course. It's France against Germany. It's live from 7. Mark Saggers is in the chair, and Matt Holland and Ian Danter will be guiding you through that one from 7 o'clock this evening. You can hear the cheers because there's a nice little passage of passes there from Hungary to take them out from the edge of the own penalty area into Portugal territory. The ball's been allowed to bounce there by Ruben Diaz. Salah is saying that he's just been caught in the face by Diaz, and I think they're going to put the ball out of play here, potentially Pepe. The referee is going to allow the physio to come on. Gives us a moment to talk through tomorrow's live games for you. Finland against Russia is first up at 2 o'clock. That's over on our sister station Talksport 2. And then we're live in Baku for Turkey against Wales. Of course, Wales 1-1 in that opening tie against Switzerland. Nigel Adderley and Dean Saunders and Hugh Rosencroft are inside the stadium in Baku, the Olympic Stadium, and they'll have that game live for you. Kick off 5 o'clock tomorrow. And Euro Game Day concludes tomorrow evening with Italy against Switzerland. That's the other game in Group A. And of course, we're the only British broadcaster that's live in Rome. Adrian Durham alongside Joe Shannon and former England striker Dean Ashton to bring you that one tomorrow evening as well. So all 3 of those games live tomorrow across the Talksport network. But prior to that, from 6 in the morning, Laura Woods, Ali McCoist and Andros Townsend have got your Euros breakfast, and that's followed up by Hawksby and Jacobs are on the road this week, and they are in Cardiff tomorrow ahead of Wales' big game. Ronaldo chasing a ball down inside the penalty area here. It was a fairly lofted ball that was always running out of play, and I think Ronaldo was trying to buy himself a foul, but nothing doing. Saloy has it on this near side. He has got himself a foul. Bernardo Silva with a challenge, and it's a free kick for Hungary.
And didn't he do well? Surrounded by players, the big captain, and he's got himself a foul, and again respite for his team. I'll tell you what, we're getting close. I'm sure, before the game they would have been saying, okay, an hour into the game, if it's 0-0, we'd be more than happy with that. Well, they're 5 minutes away from that.
Saloy just trying to encourage the crowd who start another round of hand clapping. Most of them are on their feet, to be fair. The seat's not getting too much use in the Puskás Arena this evening. We've had 10 minutes on Talksport. It's Hungary 0, Portugal 0 in this second half. Still searching for that first goal. First goal in Group F. Well, France play Germany later. That's a really poor pass from Semedo. He's given away possession on halfway to Hungary, and it's forward by Naj, now down the right hand side. Little ball infield to Salai, who's coming forward. He's got support from Schaefer. Schaefer at the edge of the penalty area. Good tackle. Comes back to Salai, who hits the shot. And it's straight once more at Rui Patricio. Every time they're on target, straight into the arms of the Wolves keeper in between the sticks for Portugal. Here come Portugal on the counter though on that far side. Ronaldo trying to get in there, but it's a comfortable header won that time by Orban. Here come Hungary again, roared on by the crowd. Budapest is bouncing, the Puskás Arena full of noise and colour and energy as well, as Saloy's just dispossessed that time by Guerrero, who puts Patricio in a difficult position, and he can just pump it into that crowd and out for a throw down the right hand side.
Vital stage of the game. This has been relentless really from the crowd trying to lift their team from the moment the game began to now, and now just coming up to an hour, it's 0-0. You can sense that the Hungarians think, it's 0-0. If we just nick a free kick or a chance somewhere, who knows what could happen from here. But certainly at this moment in time, this is a very crucial, vital part of the game here, Adam.
Words again for Saloy and Ruben Diaz from the referee. And there's a little intervention as well that time from Danilo. Getting quite heated between the two of them. The referee steps in and calls them both over. Tempers getting a little fray. As we say, a hot day. The effort being expended by particularly that Hungarian side. Very cool and calm though, Ruben Diaz, but he's already on a yellow card, so he can't afford to really get involved in anything. It's a throw on the right hand side, level with the edge of the box. It's going into the penalty area to the feet of Saloy, who turns at the byline, tries to cut it back across, but just gets deflected and he can't. It does come back into the danger zone though by Botka, but now a potential break on here for Portugal maybe. No, it's picked up by Fiola, who does well and switches it to the left hand side. Here's Roland Salai down this near touchline, right footed ball in, it's in a hand, I think, but the referee has said play on because it's safely in the arms of Rui Patricio, and again a decent passage of play for Hungary.
For the first time in the game, Adam, I believe I'm looking at the Hungarian team and they think they can get a goal. That's the first time I think they've had that look about them throughout the game.
The noise and the energy has certainly gone up a notch or two inside the Puskás Arena in Budapest. Down that left-hand side, Portugal have possession into the feet of Cristiano Ronaldo. Fairly quiet game by Ronaldo's standards so far, but sometimes that happens. Down the right is Semedo. Semedo's ball into the edge of the 6-yard box was just curling, and Galashi had to gather it at the second attempt there at the edge of the 6-yard area.
Yeah, for a moment there, my heart was in my mouth. It looked like he gathered the ball, Galashi, but it just rolled underneath his stomach and out popped it underneath his arm. It wasn't too far away from him and he reclaimed it, but they've had a couple of little bits of luck, Hungary. You wouldn't begrudge that. With the effort they've put in, you would not begrudge it.
I think you said it earlier, they will need some luck if they're going to get something out of this game. Salai is the furthest play forward. This is going to come down to Fiola almost, and Danilo's there, and I would say Carvalho actually on this occasion, who's been caught, I think, by Attila Fiola. The referee giving a very quick free kick, which is taken. Diaz has just thrown something off the pitch. I'm not sure what that was. Down that left-hand side is Ronaldo. Tries to pick up the second ball after a little touch from Jota. Jota then is snuffed out by Naj, who's done really well down that right-hand side. Naj has got the better of Diogo Jota. Then slips past Guerrero as well. A good challenge though, won by Danilo. Back in field to Fernandes, who just commits fully and stretches a foot out to get it back to Semedo. And headed away from around the penalty spot by Orban. Back towards Fernandes again, and we see his wonders for Manchester United. It's not really clicked yet for him in this Portuguese national side. He's not as prolific or as heavily involved at times as he is at Manchester United. And so far today, not made a telling contribution as yet.
I wonder if the Hungarians could have performed up to this level without the stadium being full. 61,000 people behind them.
It is a huge advantage. There is a lot of talk as to how on earth, out of all the stadiums in use, or 11 of them, that this one has somehow managed to have capacity where everywhere else, Munich obviously where the other games in this group are being played, the capacity there will be 12,000 later for the game between Germany and France, which we'll have live for you here on Talksport when we're done. Bernardo Silva infield to Carvalho, shifts play to that left-hand side, 5 or 6 yards outside the box. Guerrero forced back infield to Pepe. Danilo comes out to the left-hand side, but he goes to Guerrero and to, should I say, Semedo on the right. And again, they'll keep possession and allow Hungary to get into a decent shape. And when you're defending this ferociously, you do need a little bit of pace sometimes and speed of thought in these attacks as they whip a ball into the area again, but that's comfortably gathered by Galassi. It just looks like they're giving Hungary enough time to get themselves into a really good defensive shape, is that?
I think what they've done really well tonight though, Adam, Hungary, they've kept the line in perfect proximity to the keeper, so it's very difficult for Portugal to lay a ball in behind because the keeper comes and collects it. At the right times they put pressure on the ball when it gets to a certain stage in the pitch.
Hungary on the attack down the left-hand side. Roland Salah inside the penalty area. He's got Adam Saloy with him. Salah just checks his run. He's been hounded by Semedo. Oh, lovely little slip inside. It's picked up by Schaefer at the byline, who tries to win the corner. But according to the referee, the final touch came off Schaefer, and that's out what will be a goal kick for Portugal.
I'm still looking, whenever I see a Portuguese player, with ability on the ball, I'm looking at what's happening in front of him, and I still see a lot of people standing watching, admiring what's going on, instead of actually people coming short, somebody running off him. You need an interaction between 4 or 5 players at the same time to disorganise the defence as well organised as this.
Euro Game Day live on Talksport. Hungary 0, Portugal 0. We've had 63 minutes of this game, and still the frustration game continues for Portugal, although in terms of efforts on target, they've upped their game in the second half, have Hungary. Out wide to the left-hand side. The ball is picked up by Guerreros, who's midway inside the Hungarian half. He's got Ronaldo for company. Little feint from Ronaldo onto his right foot. Lays it back to Diaz. Now here's Pepe. Coming short for possession this time is Bernardo Silva with that number 10 on his back. Bernardo Silva, those 4 league titles, of course, with the Manchester City, another successful season. That's a terrible pass to Semedo out wide on this right-hand side. Picked up again by Jota, who does just seem a little bit off the pace. Here's William Carvalho on his left foot, edge of the box. Bruno Fernandes tries to dance his way through, but it's a really good challenge again from Willy Orban.
He's been excellent tonight. He's been excellent. That's another situation where he looked like he got changed, Fernandes. You've got to time your tackle to perfection, and Orban did that.
22 years of age, Orban, and Alvin's right, he's been a real mainstay of that back line in this game. I think he's pennied the ball out on that far side as Lovrencic. Maybe a call from one of his teammates would have told him he didn't need to, but he's conceded a corner down that left-hand side for Portugal. An opportunity maybe. 64 minutes on the clock. Live on Talksport. Hungary 0, Portugal 0. Is this the moment potentially for one of these talented attacking players? There's going to be a change here first, actually, and we're going to see the departure of Andreas Schaefer, and Loic Migaud is the player who's coming on. 30 years of age, playing in his first Euros, actually born in Paris before picking up his Hungarian citizenship. Corner swung over, dangerous time to make a change, but they defended it well. And now down that right hand side, they just tried to set Adam Naj away, but out of play again, and Portugal will have possession with Carvalho down that left hand side. Guerreiro chips the ball into the box, looking for Jota, and the final touch that time comes off Botka, and it's out of play for what will be another corner on that right hand side. I think Botka may have just caught his or turned his ankle there when making that header. But another corner for Portugal and another opportunity to put some pressure on.
Well, you don't have anyone on the post, that is for sure, so they have everyone attacking the ball, Hungary.
There you go, he's ensuing some defending. He's a right back that's come on, and immediately he's going to do some chasing down. It looks like he's gone to play in midfield, actually, despite right back being his favoured position. Here's Diaz inside the penalty area trying to win a header, and he does get a flick on it according to the referee, and it's out of play, although that's wrong because it has come off the back of Attila Soloy. But it will be a goal kick, which Hungary have taken quickly. They're not messing around here, trying to get a bit of momentum going in the game. Carvalho with the challenge on Kleinheiser, immediately holds his arms up. Carvalho is a player that so many times we thought we were going to see him in the Premier League. I think probably that moment has gone now for Carvalho. 29 years of age, of course. He's at Real Betis at the moment, but there were a fair few clubs over the years have been linked to him coming and doing that holding job in midfield in the Premier League. And Arsenal and West Ham were two of them. Here's Orban, chips it out wide to that right hand side, just about kept in by Lovrencic. He's working hard as a wing back. He's playing more as a right back, I think, because we've not seen him going forward at all. Here's Fernandes from 25 yards with his shot, and it's just wide of the left hand upright. I think Galashi's got a touch on that with a decent save, and it'll be a corner.
Well, you know exactly what he was doing there, Fernandes. He sizes the ball up, and he's going for that bottom left hand corner. As he's looking at it, Galashi, I tell you what, it's an excellent save, Adam, a really good save.
It is. Fingertips though down to his left hand side by his left hand upright. Corner for Portugal on the right hand side. Again, words here, Pepe and Fiola. Bit of argy-bargy inside the penalty area. Taken short. Fernandes whips it in, and it's headed away at the near post by Soloy, and then flicked on out once more by Kleinheiser.
Soloy's made a performance tonight that is pure leadership. He's sacrificed himself, playing up front, feeding on scraps. He's run everywhere. He's closed people down. He's bought his team fouls. He's got his head to balls, in defensive situations for his team. He's been inspirational for them tonight.
Well, just beyond the midway point of this second half, the thoughts there of the former England international Alvin Martin, who's alongside me, Adam Bridge, watching our pictures from our Euro studio in London of a very packed Puskás Arena in Budapest. On halfway, it's picked up by Kleinheiser again. Does really well, does the man who's, as we mentioned, nicknamed Scholesy earlier. Not seen much of Scholesy's quality. I think they're probably talking more about his hair. Always a chance for Hungary inside the penalty area, and it was the shot came in the end, and Soloy was there across the edge of the penalty area. It was left by Soloy. He just didn't make a decent contact, but it's only a yard wide of Patrizio's right hand post, although I suspect he had it covered.
Yeah, I think that's all it's going to take though, just one chance. Maybe this game has got that look about it, Adam. Is it going to be decided by one goal?
Semedo down the right hand side, Fernandes inside the penalty area, cuts onto his left foot, then drills it across the box. I think he was looking for Ronaldo, didn't find him though, and it'll be a goal kick to Hungary away to the right. Just went very quickly, and Fernandes just starting to have more of an impact on the game now in the last few minutes after that shot and that ball across the box. Really was a great save by Galashi.
Well, I've just seen a replay, but there, Adam, as you were talking, that save gets better every time you see it. Really was fingertip saves, low down to his left at a crucial time in the game.
2 clean sheets he kept in qualifying, but his 40th appearance, and he's doing terrifically well. We are going to see a change, the first one for Portugal, and we're going to see the introduction of Rafa Silva, who is going to replace Bernardo Silva, the Benfica player, 28 years of age. Didn't appear in the 2014 World Cup squad and only made one appearance in the successful Euro campaign in 2016, but he's back in amongst it at international level, and he's almost into the action immediately, trying to work away through that Hungarian back line, but Orban's there and he's fouled by Diogo Jota midway inside his own half, and that will be a free kick for Hungary.
Well, Santos, as I said maybe 10 minutes ago, if it stays the same, surely he is going to make one or two changes, and he's got the artillery, he's got the changes in his possession if he needs them. He's made his first one. Let's see what happens.
There's a ball over the top here for Hungary, and was being chased onto by Roland Salai, but he couldn't quite get there, and it's gathered by Patrizio. 20 minutes remaining. Euro Game Day live on Talksport. Hungary 0, Portugal 0. France versus Germany to come once we're done here, and then tomorrow 3 great games for you. Finland against Russia on Talksport 2 from 2 p.m. You can listen to that by digital radio online or by downloading the Talksport app. And then Turkey against Wales is live in this slot tomorrow, with Nigel Adley and Dean Saunders in Baku. And then after that we've got Italy against Switzerland, and we'll be live inside the stadium in Rome as well. Joe Shannon and Dean Ashton on commentary for that one, of course, with Adrian Durham alongside him as well. As we enter the last 18 and a half minutes of this game, the reigning champions have entered the fray and as yet are yet to impress.
He's bought himself another foul, the big Hungarian captain, centre forward Salai. He's done that on countless occasions tonight. Been a real nuisance, hasn't he, to Portugal?
He has. That's a really good tackle, and it's won by Attila Soloy this time. Now they've got bodies forward. There's 4 of them down the right hand side. Lovrencic for the ball into the penalty area, gets the header across goal as the advancing centre half Attila Soloy, who literally made about 50-60 yards there. He started that attack by winning the ball deep inside his own half, and he finished it with a header, but they've got it back again now. Down this left-hand side, it's picked up by Kleinheiser, and it's gathered by Patrizio at the edge of his 6-yard area.
Soloy was up there, the number 4, the centre-half, left-side centre-half. If he'd been alive to that, he could have actually got himself a goal. He just switched off. He was playing defence in an attacking situation.
Is he going to leave him short at the back, though, as that ball is lifted over the top, and it's headed away nicely by Ende Botka? Now the game's just becoming a little more open, a little more end-to-end. Soloy will pick that up down the right-hand side, tries to go beyond Diaz, but the ball ricochets into the penalty area, and Rui Patricio will pick it up once more. I think we could be in for a bit of a barnstorming finish here, Alvin.
Well, I've got to say that a few of the Hungarian players, although the game's opened up, they're looking a little tired now. A dangerous spell in the game.
Portugal have it down this right-hand side with Rafa Silva trying to go beyond and away from Fiola, but it's a 3-team challenge, and in the end Adam Naj can bring it away up towards halfway. Roland Salai, brilliant stuff from him, gets past Pepe over halfway, not many do that, then gets the foul from Pepe, and it's a free kick for Hungary and a chance to load that penalty area in a dangerous position.
Well, I don't think at any stage of the game has it looked more likely of us seeing a goal here. Certainly there's 2 teams in this game now. I think for the majority of the game it's only Portugal I could see scoring. It's not that case anymore.
Only scored 8 goals for Freiburg in the last domestic season, Roland Salai, but he's looked lively every time he's had the ball at his feet in this game.
I think you can safely say that the crowd are enjoying this, Adam.
Well, we've seen some pockets of Portuguese fans, but they chose not to load the penalty area for this free kick. Instead they've gone for a short one and then tried to nip a ball round the back, and Soloy will try something spectacular from about 30 yards out on the half volley, but it was always just fading away, a bit like one of my drives at golf, that wide of the post.
Well, I've paid tribute to his contribution up to this point, but I think he got a little carried away. I'm not so sure that shot was in his bag.
No, it was a little chip, and it was never on target really. He does look weary though, I think that's safe to say. So we enter the final quarter of an hour of the game. It's Euro Game Day Live on Talksport. Hungary 0, Portugal 0. Are we in for a barnstorming finish in Budapest? It's highly possible. There's just over 60,000 people desperately wanting that kind of finale. Or are yet again Portugal going to start a major tournament with a draw? Reminder, these two drew 3-3 in Group F 4 years ago. That's on to Ronaldo inside the penalty area. Chests it down. He claims there's a hand in use from Attila Fiola. I think the referee says, look, it'll be checked if it was, but in my eyes, that's no handball.
Well, it was a little give and go. We've seen a replay over here. No, I think to give that, it might brush his hand, not intentional. I think again, I think these days they're getting them calls right.
Well, I think there's no social distancing there between Ronaldo and Fiola, so I don't think you could claim that as a handball, really.
Sure, it's the first time I've seen a give and go, though. We've hardly seen any of that. Just give and run. Don't just give and then just admire the ball that you played. It's the first time Ronaldo's done that.
Well, Loic Nego has gone down here from the challenge from Danilo, who has been penalised for it. And there's a double change coming for Hungary, which is no surprise, but they have got this free kick on the right hand side, and again maybe it's an opportunity now. The referee appears to be taking some instruction from the VAR official Massimiliano Irati, the Italian, and he's now allowing the substitution, so I would assume they've looked at that handball and decided it definitely isn't. We're going to see the arrival of Schön. Will be the first change. Roland Salai is the player who will depart. Plays for FC Dallas, only his second international appearance. And we're also going to see Seeger enter the fray in the second change. And it's Kleinheiser that's going off on the far side. He's put a real shift in as Laszlo Kleinheiser. But David Seeger is the player that will come on. Plays for Ferencváros and has done for the last 13 years. Actually scored against Celtic in the Champions League earlier this campaign. Header away by Patrizio is not the best. Headed back into the penalty area by Nego. And it's going to reach Seeger, who nods it from inside the centre circle. Up in the air and away by Guerreiro. And even some of the Portuguese clearances have got a little bit scrappy, and Jota again has given the ball away on that far side. And Soroy will go up to try and win a header, but Guerreiro's there, and it will be shepherded back to the back line of Portugal and to Nelson Semedo on the right hand side.
So unlike Jota, Adam, he's got a ball there that can really cause a problem for Hungary. It's a simple ball by his standards, and he gets it wrong again. He's not been himself tonight.
Into the last 12 minutes, Hungary 0, Portugal 0. France against Germany to come. Ruben Dias has possession on that left-hand side. 10 yards inside the Hungarian half. Pepe's in the centre circle, where he's been for large parts of this game, to be fair. Semedo, he's always feeding that midfield of Portugal. And then that ball across, this time from Jota again, he's given it away. And it's picked up by Lovrencic, who then just lifts his arm and asks the crowd once more to rally again for these Hungarian players. Ball inside the penalty area, taken down by Fernandes. It was a long ball forward, but again he had two red shirts around him who can get the ball out of play on the far side.
Well, there's a real character and togetherness, a brotherhood, isn't there, within this performance, and the crowd as well. It's the first time I've seen a crowd of this significance play a part in a game of this significance. It really is, it's wonderful.
Carvalho lifts that into the penalty area, looking for Ronaldo. It comes up though off the shoulder that time of Willy Orban. Away towards halfway, and it's collected nicely there, this time by Schön, who finds Saloy, and now they go on that right hand side. I think the offside flag's going to go up, is it? Well, they'll continue to play, obviously. Left-footed shot, and it does go in, and there's no offside flag. And Schön, yes, there is now, but it'll be checked. Schön has scored. He looked well offside to me initially. Nego goes to the assistant. Schön has slipped it in past Patrizio at the near post. Hungary have their goal. The big question though is, will it stand? I fear not.
You've called it perfectly. I think you're right. I think he was off. They knew he was off, clearly off in my view. But I'll tell you what, Patricio will be absolutely delighted because he's been beaten at his near post. Fortunately for him, I think it will be ruled out.
Tonight for Hungary is going to turn to heartbreak for some of them. We are going to see Renato Sanchez and Andre Silva enter the fray for Portugal. So the goal doesn't stand due to that offside. William Carvalho is one of the players who's going off to be replaced by Renato Sanchez, who's the young player of Euro 2016. And Diogo Jota is off and Andre Silva is on. And we talked pre-match with Andy Brassel, obviously, about this relationship that Silva and Ronaldo have together. And it's done for Hungary before.
Well, it's a sign that you know that they're in trouble, Portugal. 10 minutes to go. They've played all their cards now. And I'll tell you what, they've been made to fight tonight, haven't they? God.
At the moment, it remains 0-0. Live on Talksport. Just under 10 minutes remaining. Euro game day. Who says 0-0s are boring and can't be fascinating? This is an intriguing and exciting and enthralling game of football, and I think a lot of that is being added to by the 61,000 people inside the Puskás Arena. And now the fact that Hungary are looking to play and try and pressurise. And we did say the longer it went on at 0-0, the more Portugal would start to feel it and become a little uneasy. Andre Silva gets his first touch, and then he combines with Rafa Silva. Now it's Semedo trying to deliver from out wide on this right hand side, but it's blocked out, and it will be a throw for Portugal at the edge of the penalty area.
Semedo's delivery has been poor from this right hand side. It really has. You know, they've had so much ball that you would expect 3 or 4 quality deliveries from either side. They haven't been there tonight for them.
They're certainly going to miss João Cancelo after the season he had, for the majority of it for Manchester City, of course. I can tell you Semedo's delivery has been poor for Wolves all season as well. There's no doubt about that. Yellow card for Loic Nego for his protestations about the goal when he went up to the assistant, Bahatan Duran. We are into the final 8 minutes in Budapest. 0-0 it remains. France against Germany still to come. An opportunity potentially for one of those two big guns to take a massive leap forward in this group if either of them can gain the 3 points tonight. That's a game we'll have live for you. Mark Saggers will take over from Natalie Sawyer in the chair, and Ian Danta and Matt Holland, the former Republic of Ireland international and captain, he will be alongside Ian for that one. Here's Rafa Silva again, cutting infield. Goes across the back line of the Hungarian midfield, should I say. Nego down that right hand side, slips an early ball through, in once more, this time to try and get Schön away, who thought he'd scored 2 or 3 minutes ago, or did score, but the offside flag went up. I think it's worse for those late offside flags, whether that worse for the players or for us in the commentary box. Sanchez puts it out to the left for Cristiano Ronaldo. Can he make something happen? 39th major tournament appearance, a new European record tonight for Cristiano Ronaldo. His 22nd in the Euros itself. And that's a lovely slip ball into Rafa Silva inside the penalty area. Just a lazy chip across, and the squirted shot is in! And they've broken the deadlock, and it's fortuitous as well. And Guerreiro is the one with a touch. The softest of goals, breaking the hearts of the Hungarians that held on for 83 minutes. And Guerreiro pokes home his 3rd international goal for Portugal, his first in 5 years, and the deadlock has been broken. It's Hungary 0, Portugal 1.
Well, there's no doubt about it. There's an element of flukiness about this. They just get lucky. It's so unfortunate for Hungary. No chance for Galassi this time. Deflection takes it right into the corner. Unbelievable after all that hard work.
And who else but the outstanding defender on the night, Willy Orban, with the unfortunate touch. Guerreiro just poked his shot goalwards, which there is no doubt Galassi had covered, but it's gone off the left boot of Willy Orban and into the bottom corner, and there was nothing Galassi could do about it. He's made save after save in this game tonight, but he could do nothing on that occasion. Can the crowd lift them one final time?
Well, I'm sure that there's still something left in this in terms of, you know, what they will give now. They will take chances. They'll maybe go more direct, look at getting in and around the penalty box and hope that they don't concede a second. But the game really will be fired up this remainder here. Unbelievable.
Renato Sanchez does really well. Rafa Silva inside the box. Can he add a second? Oh, he goes down wanting the penalty, and the referee has pointed to the spot. And the card is coming out as well for Orban, who's having a disastrous couple of minutes. The deflection off him for the goal, and now a yellow card and the concession of a penalty for the foul on Rafa Silva.
Well, there was a tangling here. It was a scruffy, embrace, let's say, Hogan. He's through here, and it looks like he's going to pull the trigger. I'm having a look at it really closely. Oh, I tell you, I don't think it's an obvious penalty. I don't think it'll be overturned by VAR because I think there was some contact there. But when you think about the challenges that have gone all over the pitch, would he have given a foul for that in the middle of the pitch?
Well, there's an arm on his sleeve, and the referee has let it go. Massimiliano Irati, the VAR, has said it's okay, and it's a moment for Cristiano Ronaldo to step up from 12 yards against Peter Galassi. That number 7, that familiar posture, hands on hips. Ronaldo from 12 yards against Peter Galassi to put the game out of sight and out of reach for Hungary. Ronaldo takes it and he puts it into the bottom left-hand corner of the goal. Cristiano Ronaldo, European record breaker, history maker. He scores in a 5th consecutive Euro tournament, and he moves ahead of Michel Platini in the all-time goal scorer rankings into double figures. Cristiano Ronaldo will get the headlines as he puts the penalty away to create European Championship history once more. It's Hungary 0, Portugal 2.
Football can be a really cruel game. If you want an example of it, tonight is that example. They've given everything, Hungary. They've huffed and puffed the majority of the game, Portugal. And we said the previous winners of this tournament, they had maybe times when they were very fortunate. Well, I think they've been fortunate tonight, really fortunate at times when they needed it. Maybe that's a sign of a team that is more than capable of going on and winning the whole tournament again.
The celebration, the same as ever. The leap in the air. Number 7 is at it again for Portugal in a major tournament. There's going to be a change here. We're going to see João Moutinho come on. He's going to replace Bruno Fernandes. But we said earlier, you need a bit of luck. They appear to have had that bit of luck. And Cristiano Ronaldo is there to pick up the pieces again. And your heart breaks for 22-year-old Willi Orban in the heart of that Hungarian defence. The deflection off him for the own goal. Then he concedes the penalty, all in the space of a couple of minutes. And after such a phenomenal effort from this Hungarian side, it's going to be Portugal who will take the 3 points and will walk tall after the first game in the group of F, the group of death. Free kick for Portugal, midway inside their own half, taken by Diaz. Well, we said there may be some drama to come in this game, and we got it.
Well, again, you look at the two approaches of both sides and the effort that Hungary have put into this, and I mean, it's incredible, really. And there were times, when they looked average. I think Portugal, they really looked like they'd run out of ideas. Individuals in the end, I think, a large stroke of luck that played a part.
Just for the record, that was Ronaldo's 44th international goal in his last 43 appearances for his country. Kevin Varga has come on to replace Attila Fiola.
I must admit, when I seen him looking up when he was taking the penalty, just before he took the penalty, I looked at Galassi and I thought Galassi looked really tall, filled the goal. He doesn't look at it like that, though, Ronaldo, does he? Just pinged it in the bottom right-hand corner.
Well, yeah, it was Galassi went to his right-hand side. Ronaldo went to the keeper's left, his right, in the bottom corner. Never really any doubt about it from Cristiano Ronaldo. It's 9 goals, or I should say 10 goals now, of course, in his 22 appearances in the Euros. We're about to enter time added on at the end of this game. Deflated Hungary side. They need to pick themselves up now, of course. They've got a game against France on Saturday, which I'll be with you for, and then next Wednesday against Germany. And it's going to be attrition and workhorse. We say 11 unbeaten going into this, of course, but they've not played the likes of Portugal and France and Germany so far. So it'll be a real battle to see how they respond, Alvin.
Well, I think anyone who's watched the Hungarians tonight will certainly feel for them. But if you're in a place where you've got to actually play against this side, you think, blimey, we're going to have to play well. We're going to certainly have to be on top of our game to create chances against them.
Renato Sanchez. I mean, we don't know what Germany are going to be like, but maybe if you think a target to win against Germany in that last game, could be a case of winner stays in.
I wonder as well, Adam, what effect this will have on Hungary. Physically, the amount of effort they put into it. The way they are psychologically, it's a terrible way to lose a game.
Here's Rafa Silva, the man who won the penalty, into the feet of Ronaldo. Back to Rafa Silva, little layoff. Here's João Moutinho to this right-hand side. Runs Renato Sanchez into João Moutinho again. 132nd appearance for Portugal for João Moutinho tonight. Another one of the Dad's Army Guard, 34 years of age right now. Renato Sanchez into Rafa Silva, then off by Ronaldo, back to Rafa Silva again, onto Ronaldo. They want an offside flag, goes round the keeper, buries the ball, no offside flag. Another goal for Cristiano Ronaldo. Once he starts, he cannot stop. Ronaldo at the double. Hungary 0, Portugal 3.
Well, there were 2 given goals here. He got it back, he give it again, he got it back, and the third time he just waltzed around the goalkeeper and just showed ultimate class in a finish. Unbelievable. What a player.
2 minutes into added time, still 3 to go. I suspect the Hungarians just wish for that final whistle. Nothing really that Galashi could do about that. Ronaldo just stepped round him, finished with his left foot from 6 yards out. He's got 2, Portugal have got 3, and they've got all 3 points.
Sometimes the scoreline doesn't tell the full story of a game, does it? I think if you were coming in now from work, having not seen this game, not listened to the commentary, you think, oh, well, that's no surprise, 3-0. Well, it's not been as straightforward as the scoreline would suggest.
How on earth, after such a great performance, Peter Galashi has let 3 goals in? I do not know. It's Euro Game Day Live on Talksport. It's Hungary 0, Portugal 3. We are in added time at the end of the game. It's taking a while. I think they probably must have had a quick check on the offside as well, but it stands. Ronaldo has his second, and who's to say he wouldn't go hunting for a hat-trick while we're in stoppage time. This is Cristiano Ronaldo we're talking about. He's already got 57 of them to his name for club and country, and plenty to think about for Marco Rossi. First time they're going to have won an opening game in the Euros or the World Cup since 2008 here, Portugal. Maybe a signal of intent. Not really the performance that merits the 3-0. As Varga lifts that one in, it's headed away by Danilo. It's back in by Nego, and it's over halfway, and Hungary will pick up possession again. 90 seconds of time remaining, Alvin. Portugal take a lot of confidence, probably from the way that they've finished the game off, but not from the performance.
No, that's right. But I think, again, you've mentioned it. They've just a team that knows what to do to get through to the knockout stages, and when they get through to the knockout stages, they get better and better. They've got match winners in abundance, 4, 5, 6 of them. So they're a handful for anyone. What they might have done, I think, Portugal here is a favour to Germany, and you look at France and people like who possibly will benefit from this, because I just don't see how you put the effort in that Hungary have, and then you lose a game, and psychologically, how do you recover from it?
That's going to be the challenge. They're in action again on Saturday, as we mentioned, against France. We've got France in action tonight against Germany. That's coming up for you, of course, from 7 o'clock with Matt Hollandy and Danta and Mark Saggers. We're into the final 30 seconds or so. A real challenge, a really good win for Portugal. That's just one defeat now in the last 16 games for Portugal, although that defeat did come against France. And there is the final whistle. Well, it's a night where Cristiano Ronaldo has broken more records, as we anticipated. He's also broken Hungarian hearts too. A late salvo from him from the penalty spot, and then a decent finish as well in stoppage time, added to a deflected goal scored by Rafael Guerreiro. And the resistance of Hungary, which lasted until the 82nd minute, was broken. And the 61,000 inside the Puskás Arena will leave probably disappointed, but surely heartened by the performance of that terrific side. But it's Cristiano Ronaldo who will get the headlines. He's broken records again, the most goals in the European Championship. He's up to 11 now, would you believe it? And he's scored in a 5th consecutive tournament. Full time in the Puskás Arena in Budapest as the Hungarian fans do that Icelandic clap. It's Hungary 0, Portugal 3.